um, or no, not soccer advice. We handle that. How has adversity helped you in your life and career?
Um, I think I will get a little personal here. Um, I was raised in a very hostile environment. I witnessed things as a child that like no human being should ever witness, and so I had a very strict mom. She's very strict. She didn't let me do anything, and the only thing she allowed me to do was play sports. I was allowed to like go to the park and go play sports. And so I used that as a coping mechanism. I always wanted to get out of the house because it was just a very horrifying household to be in. And so since I was allowed to play sport, which is what, I figured out as a little girl I was good at, I was able to use sport as a coping mechanism. And so whatever got me out of the house, I took advantage of that. And man, I ran with it. That's for sure. So what I mean by that is that anytime I came into an off season and there was another sport that I could play, oh, I did it. So I could stay at the house. And you name it, I played it. I was quarterback 1 year for football team. I played softball, volleyball, you name it. I was doing it. I was doing it all, just to kind of stay out of the house. And I was able to transition that into, my pro career because, life's hard, we all go through adversity, et cetera, et cetera. And so, with that being said, any kind of stress that's going on in my life outside of soccer, I'm able to, kind of use weight training, soccer practice, whatever the case may be, as a coping mechanism. That's my way to release stress. And so I guess that has been a huge part for me as an adult and as a professional athlete is the fact that, my career, I am a pro athlete and I'm able to use, working out as my coping mechanism to be able to just kind of push forward, with my life outside of sports.
So, in addition to that, as you're dealing with adversity and struggling through those things, how can the fact that you overcame them and adversity is always, I mean, it's hit you quite hard because I don't know many people from the tough areas you came from, the circumstances you came from, that actually make it because you shouldn't have been at UNC. That was a process, and you had obviously you had a lot of help, and you needed that. But a lot of people quit, and I see it time and time again. People just quit. Um, why didn't you quit? I know you thought about it. Why didn't you pull that final trigger and just quit?
So, uh, my parents were multi-sport athletes, and this is what kind of has driven me throughout my life. I kind of keep looking back at their lives. So, both of my parents are multi-sport athletes and incredible athletes. I read a newspaper article, that my mom was supposed to be the first woman in the NBA. That's how incredible of an athlete she was. I mean, full ride scholarships any and everywhere. Same with my dad, but they never took their ticket. They had a chance to do something with their lives, and so they didn't choose that route. They didn't take their ticket, so they used having children as an excuse. My mom had my brother and I before graduating high school. My dad had children pretty early in life as well, and so they kind of put their dreams and hopes, kind of on the back burner a little bit, because they didn't take advantage of that. And so I guess I sort of didn't want to follow in their footsteps and just kind of give up so easily. At that point, I had my knee injury. I fully ruptured my patellar tendon. Docs told me like, hey, there's a very small chance that you'll play at a high level again. Like your abilities, your strengths, you're probably going to lose, most of them. And so, I was told I wasn't even supposed to play anymore, really. And then I had my son. And so I still didn't want to use those as an excuse to just give up. And so I continued training. You had me out there coaching as well, but I was training with the boys. And so I just wanted to continue to be surrounded by a team environment. And so I started to feel good again. And, I still didn't want to follow in their footsteps and just give up that easily. And there have been many times I wanted to, so many times, throughout my career, I was like, oh, this is it for me. I'm retiring. But then I like look back, I'm like, crap, I can physically still go. And, I had to like grasp onto that and continue to use that as motivation, literally. And so it's literally because of my life struggle, like through my parents, is what kind of keeps me going, to be honest. And obviously, I want to make Jeremiah proud. I want to show him that, it's hard work. There's gonna be days it's gonna suck, but like, if you have a goal, set it and don't stop until you get there.
Yeah, and I was fortunate enough to see you actually go through that process, and I know I had my doubts too. I had no idea you were gonna be where you're at today. Um, I was just being a friend and just helping you in any situation you're in. So um, it is. I would have never bet on it because you don't bet on things you've never seen because I've never
Right.
witnessed it before. Um, I hope you enjoyed that segment. If you did, please subscribe to get my content 5 days a week.